What's up, everybody? It's the Nosebleed crew here, -1, missing Cheech. It's a weird time right now. He's over in Europe. Gibby's here because his team's playing tonight. But here we are, start of the NFL season, baby. Gibby, how you feeling?
Stoked, man. Last time Chiefs had the opener, it's because New England won the Super Bowl and Chiefs had to come out and try to prove themselves. It was fun day for the Chiefs, but we all know how that season ended. New England dominated as always, so it's exciting to be the Week 1 team on Thursday night for a Sunday night football performance and be heavy favorites.
It is, and when you say heavy, there is no exaggeration. I mean, that's 9.5-point favorites to start off the season. Kind of crazy if you're not into betting. That's just it's a big gap there. Man, it's just crazy that football is actually here. We've had no preseason. We've had little to no off-season training camp, all that. So, even Hard Knocks sucked this year. My team was in it. So
it was rough. It was a rough.
I mean, I watched the whole thing, of course, because you have to watch that coverage on your team. But
yeah.
It's just crazy that football is actually here. We get to see Patrick Mahomes play here in about 40 minutes or so. And then a little bit after that, this weekend, we're going to see Tom Brady in another jersey. We're going to see it's just there's a lot of headlines going at Phillip Rivers in Indianapolis. It's going to be crazy. So I'm excited. So if you want to go ahead and start us, go ahead.
And then, Arrowhead, it's supposed to be one of the most exciting. It's on a lot of people's bucket list to go to Arrowhead, watch a game. Well, tonight there's only going to be 16,000 people, which wouldn't even fill a hockey stadium. So I'm excited for that atmosphere, just the changes of everything. Who's going to have the advantage as a quarterback who can talk to his offensive coordinator and not have to be like this the whole time, on away games, or if it's just going to be the defense who just gets after it. So super excited. Just, 2020 has been rough, and maybe this will give us a little bit of bright spot to move on with the world.
Do you think that you said 16,000? You think that is going to how loud do you think it'll actually get I mean,
I don't think so. Right now they're pumping. I don't remember the exact numbers, but they're pumping in crowd noise, which is supposed to be equivalent to a noisy restaurant. And I don't see a crowd making it any louder than that. I'm not sure how the NFL is going to be able to regulate how loud you make it. That's too loud, and that's too loud. Arrowhead, turn that down or turn it up.
Yeah,
I'm not sure.
It makes me wonder if there's going to be a cap or something on how are they going to fairly and make that standardized across the league, especially in domes and stuff. That noise is going to project off those domes and indoor stadiums.
Yep, for sure. So as you're saying, we'll go ahead and get into the betting lines for tonight. Big gamblers here on the Nosebleed, and as the season goes on, we're going to talk about lots of different things. We'll just go over the basics real quick. So, like Logson said, the Chiefs are heavy favorites tonight at a -9.5, which means if you bet the Chiefs tonight, which you still have time to do on DraftKings or whatever website you want to use, the Chiefs have to win by 10 points. Now, the line did change, and it changes every hour, can change every minute. As of right now, I think it's 9. So that means the Chiefs still have to win by 10. If they win by 9, then it's a push and you get your money back. And then you can bet the game straight up. And the money line for that for the Chiefs is a -450. Okay. So that means to win $100, you have to bet $450. And then it's the opposite. So if you see the plus sign, the Texans are plus 350. That means you have to bet $100 and you win $350, and that's a straight up bet. So if we're talking about money lines, stuff like that, we're talking about this head-to-head matchup. If we're talking about the spread, that's when Vegas, all the nerds and all them guys, try to predict where that's at. Logs, I know we're different on this tonight. I got the Chiefs. I'm taking the Chiefs and giving the Texans the 9.5. How do you feel about that?
Well, like you said, we are different on this, and I feel like I'm probably different than a lot on this one in particular, but it's just because of the train they're rolling on since the Super Bowl. They obviously are the Super Bowl favorites, I would say, going into the season, but it's Week 1. Granted, they have the same exact team almost. Everybody's coming back, but I just don't see Week 1 them going out against the Texans team who, I mean, last year they played twice, right? 2 times, and the first time
Texans
they won.
Yep.
They won, so they felt good. Then they go up, was it 24-0?
Yep.
24-0. And if it's not, they had it's not like they did blow the game. Bill O'Brien and company blew that game. But, some misfortunate stuff. They had a fumble on the 1 yard line.
So they had, there was
you remember, you were there.
Oh, yeah. Remember it. It was a pretty awesome experience. It was sad, roller coaster of emotions. But, yeah, they had the fake punt where, they were up. Like, there was no need to go for the fake punt. They tried to go for it. So when there's 21-0, they tried to go for it on 4th and 1. But for some reason, they couldn't get the play in time. So they had to call a timeout. And they ended up kicking a field goal. And then, from there, it just kind of changed the momentum. So they did the fake punt. And then after that, the Chiefs scored. Chiefs kick it off. And then one of our white safeties and Sorensen comes up and lays the wood on a guy, and he pops, and the fumble goes right into our rookie running back's hand. It just kind of went in there. And I think, honestly, if you're Bill O'Brien, which we all think is a stooge here at the Nosebleeds, Cheech included, he can sell that to his locker room tonight that, hey, I costed us this game. We can come in here and we can beat Kansas City because if I don't call this or I don't do this, and we could play more conservative, maybe we do win, and we did beat them. So I think both teams are very excited for tonight, and I think both teams believe they can win. I think Vegas just sees the Chiefs returning everyone and going from there.
Yeah, man, and that's exactly pretty much my point. The Texans are not scared to go in here with no fans in the stands and play the Chiefs, I don't think. So that's why I'm taking it. And, combined with it just being week 1, I think it's supposed to rain there tonight too. So these are kind of two explosive quarterbacks, two potentially explosive offenses. Obviously, we know the Chiefs are, but I still think the Texans can be too, especially with Deshaun Watson. But it's going to be raining, so it's going to be a slow start. First game jitters, a little rain. They're going to try to get that rookie running back involved, hopefully, for my sake, and all you fantasy owners who have Clyde. So, I feel like it always goes like this week 1. Everybody's excited, and then, it might be, kind of a dud-ish, but I'm hoping it's not. But that's why I'm taking the Texans. I'm saying a touchdown. A touchdown is what I think.
Touchdown? All right. I think my prediction for tonight is Chiefs 35, Texans 24, but we'll get into that as we go through. Couple more as we stick to some gambling. Over under for Mahomes and Watson passing yards. Okay, so right now the line is sitting at, for Mahomes, 339.5 passing yards. So he'd have to throw for 340 if you take the over. What you got there for Mahomes? Over under 339.5.
Man, this one's tough, but I'm gonna go over for old Patty here.
Okay.
I know I just said all that about them being slow, but I do think it picks up. He hit some big plays down the field. Gonna have some dump downs, some screen plays.
Tons.
So I think he definitely hits that over. But that doesn't mean I think they're gonna go out and score 50 points. You?
I'm taking the under on this one, man, just because of kind of like what you said. I think they know what this passing offense can do. I think not just Clyde. I think they want to get Clyde involved, but I don't know if the Chiefs are real comfortable in who their backup running back is. There was talks of them bringing in AP. So whenever any talk like that comes around, there's definitely going to be some uncertainty with the backup. And then, so we disagree on that. Let's see if maybe we can match up for old Watson, man. Watson's over under for tonight, 285.5 passing yards. What you got?
He's gonna hit right over that. I say right around 3 to 320. I think he's gonna do it, and it's gonna be. I think he's gonna have a good first half. I think the Chiefs might slip up and come out a little flat in the first half, and then Mahomes makes all those yards up in the second half and just doesn't let go of the gas all the way through. So that's where I'm at with this game. I think Watson still puts up 300. I think he can do that.
Oh, yeah. And then Chiefs secondary, it's been a question mark for years. And,
right.
Breland suspended. That's big. Pennell, a D tackle for the Chiefs, is suspended. He's a good pass rusher. So to me, it comes down to the O-line. But Watson, I think, is just going to ball out tonight. It's a good game. I think he puts up 24 points. And I think a lot of it is the checkdowns. With Hopkins being gone, that's what I'm most interested in tonight, is to see how he reacts without Hopkins. I'm taking the over as well on Hopkins or Watson.
Oh, Hopkins.
But with that said, we're talking about Clyde and everything. Offensive Rookie of the Year lines came out. It typically always goes to a quarterback. Whatever rookie quarterback played the best pretty much always wins Rookie of the Year. So, of course, Joe Burrow is the favorite at a plus 225. Clyde is second at 375. Tua, 950. Jonathan Taylor's next. And then you got a tie with CeeDee Lamb and Jerry Jeudy. Who you got there, man?
Well, I don't think that Tua or Justin Herbert, or I know he wasn't really on that list, but I don't think they get enough playing time to win this award, in my opinion. I think Fitzpatrick keeps that job at least. I don't know. It's hard because, if they come out and they play the Patriots week 1, and if they have a tough go, they could definitely go to Tua, but I like them to not do that actually for the first half of the season until they're just completely out on Fitz. So I don't think he's going to win this award. Joe Burrow obviously is probably the favorite candidate. Well, he is the favorite candidate. But with that cast around him, it's just hard to say that he's going to kind of be a lock for this. I do think he wins it. I'm going to give it to Joe Burrow just because with Boyd and AJ Green, hopefully he stays healthy. I think he'll put up the numbers. And like you said, it's that quarterback bias. Obviously, Clyde is going to get a lot of touches this year, it seems like. So he's going to that's who I really hope wins because my fantasy teams. So hopefully he gets really involved. But I'm trying to be unbiased with this one. But I just think Joe Burrow has a lot to offer. And even though he's going to have an up and down season, I think he can put up the stats, and he's a quarterback. So.
Yeah, for sure. So first comment of the night, we got Matthew Carlson. He's telling us Watson finally has a running back. I agree. Last year, who was the old man back there?
What? I
can't think of his name. It's 2:00 in the morning, but maybe if David Johnson can stay healthy, I agree that Watson does finally have a running back there. So
was it Alfred Blue, or was that Alfred Blue?
That was a few years ago.
Yeah, that was a couple of years ago. I mean, they haven't had a good running back since Arian Foster. Yeah, Carlos Hyde. Yeah.
So
that's right.
Appreciate that comment. For me, I'm going to go with the flyer for Rookie of the Year. I'm going to go with the Washington Red Potatoes running back Antonio Gibson. Nice. I think they try to Tyreek Hill him. I think they put him at running back. I think they put him at wide receiver. I think they try to do everything with him, moving him around and all that. So I'm going to take a flyer with old Antonio.
I don't think a lot of people have heard a lot about him. I mean, I know I haven't really heard a whole lot about him. So I know he's been kind of boosted up into that starting role pretty much. So it's just tough to say with these teams that are so bad at the game of football.
Oh yeah, it's tough. He might not even see the field, but if I'm throwing any money on it, I want a good return. So that's why I would take old Gibson.
Got to respect that. That.
All right. So one other award I want to talk about, because 2 of the top 5 guys are playing tonight. We got 2 MVP front runners in the game. Patrick Mahomes, of course, the favorite to be MVP this year. Your boy Lamar Jackson's rocking second. We got Russell Wilson at third. Deshaun Watson balling out at fourth. The old man Tom Brady rounds out the top 5. Who's your MVP?
I'm going to make this simple. I think they give it to Patrick Mahomes just because he's Patrick Mahomes. He's the face of this league now. He is. He was hurt. I don't know. How many games did he miss last year? Like 3 or 4, 2 or 3?
Couple, yeah.
Enough to really impact his stats and not get an MVP level kind of, to boost himself up there. I really like Lamar Jackson just because the things he does on the football field, numbers wise, is going to put him in that conversation each year. I bet you go with Russell Wilson, but I'm just not sold on what they got going on. I don't think hot take, I don't think they get enough wins this year for him to be in the MVP conversation.
Yeah.
So that's what I think. But I am going to go with Patrick Mahomes just because of everything in the offseason. He's the poster child of the NFL now. If he can remain healthy and put up his, 350 passing yards, 3 touchdowns a game, which he's very capable of. If he can just do that on average, he's going to win the MVP.
For sure. Like you said, I'm going Wilson. I just think I was such a hater for him for so long, and I just disrespected this man. I think he deserved it early in his career because he always had a great defense and he always had a great running game. But now his offensive line has went downhill. He's the reason they were good last year. He's the reason that I thought he was the MVP of the league last year. So that's why I'm going for him this year. I think he makes that step up. It is going to be, they got the 49ers. It's a tough division, so it's going to be tough. We're going to get to a couple comments and see what you think about this. Oh, Deion Smith hitting us up, telling us the Ravens are winning the Super Bowl this year. What are your odds for Lamar and his Ravens to win?
I really think they have a good chance. I think this team could win 14 to 16 games. Yeah, I said 16. Their strength of schedule. Everybody's probably like, what? Go look at their schedule and what they have. And they're not going to be playing these tough away games because there's no crowds. And they did well on the road last year, too. They went into Seattle and just kind of took over that game late in the game. I think they could win a lot of games, but will Lamar make that extra, jump in his career and win a playoff game? That's what it's going to come down to. I think he does. Simple as that. So I don't think they get past the Chiefs, though. That's just my opinion, old Deion. But I do like their chances. And, it's one game. It's not a, NBA, NHL. It's not a best of 3, 5, 7. So if they can come out and play, if they're at Arrowhead, that those fans aren't going to be behind them. Hopefully I think they get the home field advantage this year, though. It's just their strength of schedule is ridiculous. Go check it out and see if you disagree.
Yeah. And not just that. I mean, let's say that they had an average, mediocre offense. That defense, they have one of the best secondaries in the league. They had Calais Campbell. It's can them linebackers fly around and sit in them zones and not let, Brown from the Titans just torch them again. So that's the big thing. Next, we got, Chavez telling us Niners. What's up, boys? Guess what? Chiefs beat the Niners, bud. Let's go.
What up, JC?
JC, hit us up, man. Come join the show.
Yeah, for real.
And then
Niners 8. Sorry, go ahead.
Next, we got Dallas Bovey. Him and his boys put on a great podcast. If you're watching, please go check that out on Spotify and follow their Instagram.
Sure.
Brass Tacks and Beers. It was a great listen. And I'm excited to see what they got. I'm not a big movie buff, and I still enjoyed, what they put out. So appreciate the comments, appreciate the views, everyone. We are going to move on to something that we thoroughly enjoy, and that is fantasy football.
Woo!
We're about 25 minutes till kickoff.
Hey, so side note, make sure everyone has their team set tonight. There's some players tonight.
There is.
You have it, so go ahead.
Yeah, so we'll go ahead. We'll just go position by position. We'll go with that. Obviously, we'll start with an easy one, warm us up. Like I said, it's 2 o'clock in the morning over here for me. Just had a newborn baby, so life's rough. Drinking my coffee in the cooler.
Oh, there it is.
We're going to make it through the night, though. All right, so both quarterbacks are must starts, right? Like if you drafted these guys, they're both playing against terrible secondaries. Like they have to start, right?
Yeah, like you said, secondaries are weak, not below average to below average.
Oh yeah.
If you took one of these guys, you took him with your first I'd say first
4, 5,
6 rounds. Yeah, 6 max. So you're playing these guys. You have to start them. It's a good matchup, I think. The only thing that's kind of scared me is the rain, and first game stuff. I keep repeating myself on that, but it's a real thing.
Oh
so,
yeah, for sure. You got these guys. You shouldn't have a backup quarterback. That should be your team. Like you should just play quarterback off the waiver wire, and you got to start him. This is implementation for you. Let's talk running backs. Clyde, let's start with him. What's your expectations for the night? He is a rookie. Not a lot of practice, not a lot of stuff, but the Chiefs are hyping him up. Supposedly Patrick Mahomes single-handedly picked this man out of everyone in college. You have him on 1 league, I know for sure. 2, let's go. What's your expectations for him week 1?
Yeah, I got him in 2. He almost fell to me 1 pick away from my 3rd one. But yeah, pretty excited about what this guy has to offer. Everything I've read, don't have as many inside sources over there in Kansas City as I do around the league. But
Yeah, you'll get him.
from what I've read, he's gonna start in slow. They're gonna ease him into the backfield, but I think he gets a little more than 50% of the touches tonight. I know it's a little split between what's the dude's name? The other guy, I don't know. Williams.
Another D. Will. Yep.
Yeah, the other D. Will. Darrell Williams, I think, is
Yep.
his name. Yeah, so that's always confusing. But I hope he can go out there and just show me some promise for the rest of the season. You know, I don't care if he goes. I'm going to play him. I think you have to start him because if you took him, you took him in the first round. So you got to start him
a month ago.
Exactly. So hopefully he can go out there and get me. I'd be happy. Honestly, I'd be happy with just like 10 points. That's week one. If he can get a touchdown in there, I think it helps rookies too without the crowd. There's not a like big, expectation for a first round guy to go out and get 100 rushing yards, 16 touches or whatever it may be and get a touchdown. So I'm excited to watch him play though, because I know at LSU, there was so much hype around Joe Burrow and all those receivers and that offense.
Arche, like all them guys.
Yeah, unless you're a diehard like LSU fan, I don't think you really dialed in on Clyde there. So, I mean, obviously,
it was a shock that he was the first running back off the board, and then Etney or however you say his name from Clemson didn't come out. So, yeah, for sure. I'm gonna give you a little hope. All right, I'm gonna give you a little hope with Clyde tonight because I'm gonna take you back 3 years ago at Gillette Stadium. We talked about it at the opening. Chiefs come in. Pats just won another Super Bowl, blah, blah, blah. And there was a guy who was a rookie for the Chiefs as a running back, third-round pick, maybe second, but I want to say third. Comes in, and he fumbles on his very first play. Never fumbled in college. But then he comes in, and against the New England Patriots, rushes for 148 yards, has 98 yards receiving, and 3 touchdowns. Kareem Hunt came out and do that. So I told you all in earlier episodes, I believe in whoever Andy Reid's running back is. I don't care who it is. We have different beliefs on how good D. Will is last year. I thought he was, he made some good runs, but I don't think he's a top tier running back. Nah, but that's fine.
MVP.
All right. So I'm rooting for Clyde with you tonight, bud. A guy I've got on in almost every league. I maybe overvalued him, but we're going to go the other side with David Johnson and Carlson commenting again. Appreciate the love, brother. He said he's got Hill and David Johnson in tonight, and he's sitting Will Fuller.
Ooh, sitting Will?
Sitting him. Will.
It's hard because if you have both of those players, Hill and David Johnson, I definitely value their output more than Fuller at this moment. But I have Will Fuller in 3 leagues. All 3 of my fantasy leagues, I was able to get Will Fuller. I think I got him like in a comfortable spot. I believe in him. Deshaun Watson kind of was saying that he really was liking what Fuller was doing this offseason. He is injury prone. He's went down a few times in his career, so that's always scary. Brandon Cooks is I actually like that. Excuse me. So they lose one of the best receivers in the league. Then they get Brandon Cooks. They get Randall Cobb. I like those pieces to make Will Fuller better, though, because he's going to be a top option. He's someone that he trusts more than those other 2 at this moment. And the ball's got to go somewhere out of Deshaun Watson's arm. So I'm starting Will Fuller in all my leagues. I'm pretty excited about it. I don't know if it's just kind of a bias because it's the first game of the season. But I like Fuller, but I do respect that you got to play David Johnson and Cooks. And I don't know if I would like 3 people in one game on a Thursday night.
It could be a long weekend if it's a rough night.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, all right. So
Carlson
David Johnson, right?
Carlson said he is starting Robert Woods over Will Fuller. Got to respect that. We're big Robert Wood believers. So good call on there, Carlson. David Johnson.
Pretty risky that I'm starting Fuller in all my leagues, honestly. But
yeah.
I have to.
I'll hit on David Johnson. I'll talk about that wide receiver core real quick. I think he's a must start. I think he finishes top 20 in PPR, standard, half PPR. I think if you got David Johnson at the value you got him at as a starting running back for the Texans who are paying him $10 million, I think you've got to start him. like especially against the Chiefs. Like, I love the Chiefs, but their defense is still suspect. They had a good run, but teams have good runs. Look at my Blues, and then the next year they just kind of pooped the bed. So I think you got to start David Johnson. As far as the Texans wide receiver core, I don't have any Texan wide receivers on any of my teams just because they remind me a lot of the New England Patriot teams that were good, and everyone kind of did the same thing. So I think Will Fuller has the highest upside of all of them, but Cooks can ball out too. So for me, I'm just too scared to try to pick which one is going to blow up that week. But like you said, Will Fuller could take 2 catches, 75 yards apiece, and get a touchdown, and then you're set for the rest of the game. 2 catches, 80 yards, and a touchdown. Like, that's a great fantasy week. So I just don't know which one to pick. And, as I didn't do great with wide receiver depth this year, I went all in on running back. So, and it's firing back on me, but we'll see. All right. We'll go to left.
I was gonna just hit on that. I mean, there are some players on that team. They kind of do the same thing. Cooks and Fuller, those streakers, they can definitely have those big plays. Cooks has had I bet Cooks is available in a lot of leagues. No, actually, he probably went really late.
10-man leagues, maybe.
Yeah, maybe 10-man leagues. But the dude, he's had 4,000-yard seasons. He had like 1,200 yards in 2018, as recent as that. So he can play football, and I like you said, Fuller's upside is, I think, better if he can stay healthy. David Johnson, you talked about how he's a must start, but he has a lot to prove. I feel like we're talking about a top 3 fantasy pick. What, 3 or 4 years ago?
Yeah, number 1, really. After that year, he blew up with the Cardinals. What was that, 2015? So 2016, he was the number 1 pick in a lot of leagues.
PPR beast. So I think he has a lot to prove, and just look out for this Texans team to turn some heads tonight. That's all I'm saying. God, I hope they do good. I might get roasted. All right, go ahead.
I was looking this up before. Like, I don't like betting season-long things because you just never know. But Chiefs, of course, are number 1 odds to win the Super Bowl. Texans were 24th. I thought that's pretty low for this team. Like, 24th, like the teams that are in front of them, like the Falcons, the Browns, like all these teams. Not just like.
Well, I think if you look in their division, they probably like 3 teams better than them. Yeah, because you have the Titans, obviously, who are going to be ahead, and the Colts, who I think a lot of people have hope for him with. I like the Colts this year going into the season. A lot of people are a little questionable on old man Rivers, but it's 2020. Let's get those old quarterbacks going. So,
all right. So we'll go to boring positions, defenses and kickers. I'll start with this. I keep making you start off. I apologize. Defense, I'm not starting either one. I'm not I don't want the Chiefs defense until Breland gets back. I don't want the Chiefs defense until they prove themselves again. And then I don't want a defense that's playing against the Kansas City Chiefs. So if I have either one of these defenses, I'm not starting them. As far as kickers, yeah, they're fine. If you got Butker for the Chiefs, you drafted him probably earlier than you should have, and so you have to start him. And then the Texans kicker, the Texans I don't really feel have great red zone threat, so maybe you can get a couple field goals out of them. So I'm fine with the kickers. Don't start the defenses though.
Yeah, first off, kickers, who fucking cares? Like,
just pick one.
That and defenses, it doesn't. I don't start any of these defenses. I don't believe really in these defenses. Honestly, I don't really care. I shuffle through defenses every week in fantasy, but I feel like it could be a good play. But it's week 1. Everybody's watching this game. You never know what can happen. Some turnovers, some jitters. That's the only thing I could say. But no, personally, I don't start him. That's about the end of that.
All right. That's a fantasy outlook from the Nosebleeds. If y'all have any start them, sit them questions, feel free to post them on our Facebook page, comment on anything, comment on the stream. We'll pop in there. We'll try to help you out. If maybe you're, I've been in some leagues where your roster's lock on Thursday night. That's a rough league. So commissioners, please nix that. But I've seen it. So if you got some start them, sit them questions, hit us up. We are going to move on to the game tonight. Give a little prediction, try to talk about it a little bit. We're 15 minutes to kickoff, fellas. All right. So, what's your biggest question marks for the Chiefs and the Texans? I'll go ahead and leave this one off, man. But just the biggest question, just something to kind of think about. for me, I've talked about it. It's a secondary. Who's going to play cornerback? Who's going to lock up these? Because the Chiefs have track stars at wide receiver, but if you look at the Texans, they kind of do too. So I'm pretty nervous about the secondary of the Chiefs. So they're the number one thing. I'm really excited to see how they come out and play, just to see who starts, who plays, who gets the reps, stuff like that. As far as the Texans, what I'm most excited for is, will their O-line be better? We've seen every time we watch Watson, it's like he's running for his life. They're returning all 5 starters for the first time since 2012. So hopefully that helps him out. I think we're big Watson guys, and I just want to see him, see him play. And if you are a big O-line guy and like to watch the O-line, watch their left tackle and Larry Tunzel. He's one of the best in the leagues at pass blocking. He'll give you some good entertainment for the night. So them are my big question marks. What you got, man?
Yeah, I mean, for me, for the Chiefs at least, it's hard. I really don't. You hit on the secondary, but I really don't have a whole lot of questions with them. I think most Super Bowl winning teams, obviously, that are not coached by Mr. Bill Belichick, they always, the off season's full of partying. Maybe they go into a slump the next year. But we haven't seen a lot of those teams because the Patriots have won 10 out of the last 100. It's just like so. But I don't think that's due to COVID. I don't think that's a factor. They haven't been able to go out and do a bunch of stuff. So, I think they're fine. I think they're kind of locked in. You've seen Mahomes and Chris Jones and all of them signing these deals and kind of locking in that core part of that team. So I think they'll be fine. I really don't have a lot of negatives to say about the Chiefs. But for the Texans, my biggest question, can they get David Johnson going? I think he's the X factor for this team this year. As much as they're going to miss DeAndre Hopkins, it's going to come down to him, and it's going to come down to that O-line. Like you said, I'm a big O-line guy. Hopkins has to look to not ad-lib each play. He has to look to make quick decisions tonight, especially. The Chiefs have a good D-line, and so he has to just kind of learn how to make those quick decisions, hit those slant routes, hit the drags. And but yeah, David Johnson and that O-line for sure with the Texans it's kind of the obvious to me. But
oh yeah, good call on that. All right, so we talked about the spread. We talked about our thoughts. We kind of went over it. If you want to briefly touch, what will happen for the Chiefs to win tonight? Like, what do the Chiefs have to do to win tonight? And what do the Texans have to do if they want to win the game tonight?
I mean, 9.5 points is a lot. So to cover the spread, I think they just kind of have to go out and play football. And, just kind of stick to the game plan. It's the same teams. I'm just echoing myself, but the Texans, if they want to not cover this spread, they just got to come out and lay a dud because I think they're going to be fine. I really do. Everybody's saying the Chiefs are going to just completely come out and just blast the Texans tonight, but the Texans are a good football team. They're just matched up with a very superior team in the Chiefs. So, I don't know. It's week 1. We really have no idea what's going to happen. So I'm excited though. It's going to be such a different just atmosphere with no fans. Maybe we get to hear some audibles or some shit like that. I don't know, but
yeah, it'd be cool to get in the head of some of these guys. I think the big reason the spread with everything is that, after the Texans went up 24-0, the Chiefs went on a 51-7 run and it's just kind of unheard of, a lot of breaks and everything. So I think that's a big thing. All right. Well, 10 minutes till kickoff, bud. Let's decide who has the best position group for each position. How's that sound?
All right. This will probably be pretty easy.
Yep. All right. So we'll start with quarterback.
Oh, Chiefs. No disrespect to Deshaun Watson, but come on.
Yeah, for sure. All right, I'm going Chiefs as well. All right, skills position. So we're talking wide receivers, tight ends, running backs. I'm going Chiefs as well. Just because they got the best tight end in football, they got track stars at wide receiver, and then even if running back's a coin flip, the Chiefs still have a better skill position.
Yeah, you said it all. I think the tight end position. Can you name the Texans tight end? Is it Darren Fells still? I don't know. Yeah. Okay. So I guess I can, but most people probably can. You got Travis Kelce. Their weapons outside are a little better. I do like the Texans skill positions, but it's just the Chiefs, man. So
Yeah, for sure. O-line, we kind of talked about it, how Watson has to scramble around. Chiefs were great in O-line with that.
Yeah.
So we're going Chiefs again.
Yeah.
D-line, I don't think you are either, but I'm not a big JJ Watt guy. DJ Reader is a big loss that no one's talking about for the Texans. Big D tackle. He's gone, and he was a big help for JJ Watt. He's not going to have that this year. We talk about complementary pieces on D-line all the time and how it's important to not get double teamed. Ask Aaron Donald how important it is to not be double teamed every single play.
Facts every time if he wasn't.
Every time. So D-line, I'm going Chiefs simply because DJ Reader's gone, and I think JJ Watt's over the hill.
Yeah, I mean, I think he is too. Hopefully, for his sake, he does stay healthy. I hope he does stay healthy just to see what he really can do by himself on that D line on the outside. But yeah, I'm gonna go with the Chiefs. I mean, you got Chris Jones, Frank Clark still there, right? That might be dumb.
Frank the Clark Shark. Yep, he's still there.
Yep.
Overpaid, but that's a discussion for another time.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna go linebackers. For me, the Chiefs linebackers are just so many question marks. You know, Willie Gay, I'm real excited to see him play, but he's a rookie who knocked out his quarterback at a bowl game. That's why the Chiefs were able to pick him up. We all know Chiefs like guys with character issues that they can come in and try to rein in. So, and I actually really love the Texans linebackers a lot. You know, I think McKinney and Cunningham are just two of the best in the business. So this is a walk away for the Texans. Finally, they got better linebackers.
Yeah, this is the only, I guess we're on the same page, obviously, through all these. This is the only one I really picked the Texans at. The secondary, maybe, but I mean, you mentioned Cunningham, McKinney. Whitney Merciless is a good player. All those guys just, you never know. I've heard, a little easy there. So, good for the Texans. So.
All right, man. Well, we're about 5 minutes till kickoff. I gave my prediction. I think Chiefs win 35-24. JC has got the Chiefs over the Texans at 38-20. He's saying 18-point favorites tonight.
Jeez, JC.
So, you think the Chiefs win by a touchdown, right?
Yeah, touchdown. They could blow it open. They could win by 20, 24, 30. But, somebody's going to be on their side with the Texans. So I just think they're a good team, man. I don't see how they are. They don't get any love with this first matchup because it's the Chiefs, but they're a solid team. They're going to turn some heads. They're going to win some games this year. Deshaun Watson's probably going to, win some games that by himself. So hopefully, I don't know. He just got paid a lot of money. So hopefully he wants to go out and prove what he's worth.
More than Mahomes, as a fan's perspective, cap hit wise. He's taken up more of the cap than Mahomes is. So we had an episode on that earlier. Carlson hitting us with the Chiefs 35-31. So he's saying that Logs wins the spread bet. All right, bud, we're about 5 minutes to kick off. You got anything else you want to talk about?
Nope. Go Rams. Sunday Night Football. We're going to win that game. That's it.
Nice. All right. Well, we appreciate everyone, all the comments, views, and everything. If any of y'all ever want to come on the show, we're just, that's all we do. We just like to drink beer and kind of talk with buddies about football. So just hit us up on our Facebook page. We'll get you scheduled on, and we'll talk about whatever topics you want to talk about. But with that being said, with such a shitty year, 2020, I'm really glad football's here. Today, random fact, today is the first time in American sports history that we have NFL, NHL, NBA, MLB, and some soccer league that's in America. But go Chiefs tonight, and I hope you all enjoy your favorite adult beverages and enjoy some Thursday night